This is a little disclaimer. If I jump a lot in the stories, I'm kind of trying to work on trying to like be more fluent and tell the story more, what is it, chronologically. And the more time passes, the more like better I'm gonna get at it. This is gonna be my third one, so sorry guys, don't hate on it so much. I am learning and I'm trying my best to keep it entertaining. So here you go, guys. Hello, guys. Good evening. So today's vlog will be. I'm kind of like in a really good place for it since I'm in the memorial. So, full respect for any veterans out there or anybody whose family member passed away during wars or during deployments or stuff like that. But today's story is going to be about me joining the Marines, the Marine Reserves, or the Marine Corps infantry. I'm not going to say I have deployments. I don't have any deployments. I wish I did, but I don't. So I can't say I'm a full Marine because I'm still a boot until you go on your first deployment, on your first combat deployment. But I was gonna say how I started it was in 2016, I believe. I had gone through some personal issues. Me and my ex-girlfriend had broken up, and I went into a very depressing self, and it was more of like I tried to overwork myself, not sleeping and not eating as much, and pretty much working out basically before school and after school. And I'm not even talking like small amounts, I'm talking like 6 hours of working out, which is not good. I was in my top shape, so I was good about that. I did a lot of climbing at school and running. I had a 5-minute mile, which is the best I ever got, and I'm hoping I can get back to that, to a 5-minute mile, but hey, whatever. So one of my friends from like the rock climbing association, she had recently gone to the Marines. She's been doing like the pulley, like going to enlist. So she had already enlist, and she was talking about it with me, and she asked me if I wanted to do it, and I was like real like hesitant. But I'll just say, if I don't think about it, I do stupid shit. And yeah, that was one of my stupid shits. I didn't really think about it. I just went for it. So I went. I talked to the recruiter, and then after that, like, I went to one IST, which is like a test, like running pull-ups and crunches, see where you stand before you start like shipping out and stuff like that, so you can sign your contract and stuff. But for me, since I was pretty good shape, I had my 20 pull-ups, I had my 100 crunches, and I had a 7.5 minute mile, but which is pretty good for a guy that, hey, wasn't really thinking about joining. I was pretty good fit, and I went to the recruiters, talked with them for a good like hour or two after like school. My friend took me, and then I was like, oh, okay, I'll go do. And then like after a while, like I kept going to like the PT sessions of there, And then like, I'm not even joking, like in under a week I got my I got everything done. Got my paperwork done. I got my all my medical records, all my tests. And the funny thing was that during this time, like I just met my recruiter once, and then my recruiter went like on leave because his baby was just born. So I became another recruiter's what can I say, problem or like load. But it's funny because it's he made it happen in a very fast amount. Like I told my mom like 3 days after like I did it that I was gonna go to the Marines and I was gonna go San Antonio and sign my paper. And this is like the end of like the semester. And the funny thing was that I did one of my finals for school, which was like anatomy, English, and philosophy, if I remember correctly. And this is when I'm doing school, I'm doing work at school and doing all that. So after that, like I did my tests and stuff, they came to pick me up. It was real late. It was like 4 in the afternoon, and I had to go do a test, my confirmation test in Weslaco. And it was funny because that test was supposed to take me an hour at most because it was just a confirmation. I already taken the test online, and I did pretty good on my test, but for some reason I failed the confirmation. So I actually ended up doing the entire test again, which was a 3-hour test. And I finished my test at 6 in the afternoon, which is pretty late because I was supposed to take off with the van at 5 p.m. So the van had already taken off to San Antonio, and my recruiter's like, well, fuck. So he got like all the like he got the results, got all the paperwork, fucking came and picked me up in Weslaco. Literally fucking came and picked me up, and we took off. Fucking trying to catch the van that was supposed to take me to MEPS to sign my paperwork, to sign my contract. But it was funny because, man, my recruiter, my staff sergeant, did not care. He was speeding. He was going down like we were in the highway, like on the expressway, and he literally like went like 4x4 down like the road, down the grass, to get like on the lower base of the road that was in the bottom. So pretty much like he was breaking laws like nonstop, going like 90, 100 miles per hour, trying to like reach the van in Alice. And he called like the guy that was driving the van and told him like, hey, can you wait for us in Alice? Just wait for us like a good like 10 minutes and we'll get there. And my fucking recruiter's fucking speeding. I'm already tired because I've been awake since like 7 because I had an exam at 8. And it's already like 8 in the afternoon. And we're fucking driving. I'm just like panicking, like, oh my god. Like, are we gonna crash or are we gonna like do something stupid? And then like we arrive at Alice, and then my recruiter's like, hey, do you want anything to eat? Because I know like you didn't get to eat anything. And I was like, yeah, man, give me like fucking, buy me a corn dog and buy me some chips because I'm fucking hungry. And he's like, yeah, sure, like let me just get you all the stuff. And he was all worried because I was a college student, so most college students don't end up like going through with it. Most of like the college student back up back out of it because hey, you're going to school, so you might be able to do that. But it was funny because he was like all worried about me the entire time. And he kept like texting me like, hey, you're still up for it, right? And I was like, yeah, I'm still up for it. And he kept saying that, he kept texting it like all afternoon. And then when we got to San Antonio, he called me like, so you have everything, right? And I was like, yeah, I have the paperwork, I have all the medical records, and I have the test results. And I ended up like actually like improving all my line scores, but I ended up lowering my overall test, which is good and bad because I had more like options available, but the score wasn't as high. But it was funny because I had a lot of like jobs open for me, but for me, what I wanted to do was either have military police or have security forces, which is, just to guys give you like a heads up, I didn't end up getting none of those two. I was active, and then I ended up changing my active contract to a reserve contract. But first I had signed my like military police contract. But it was funny because I'm like here, like I wasn't ready for it, and like I didn't think it like I don't think it like synced in like what I was gonna do. This is like under like a week, like all my paperwork, all my like physical training, all my paperwork, all my tests for like the military and stuff. So none of that was like, I don't think it hit me like yet until like a week afterwards. It hit me that oh shit, I signed up for the Marines, and I'm not the type of person to like back out of things. I'm no quitter. No matter how much I like hate myself, I'm no quitter. And it was funny because they kept like checking up on me because it was like they didn't want me like to back out of it, because for them it's like odd numbers. So if they lose me, I'm one less person, and they had to find someone else to like fill up my seat. So I kept like going to like PT sessions, and I kept going to like the trainings and stuff. And after like a while, like my sergeant recruiter, like the one that was actually supposed to be my recruiter, but he didn't end up doing none of like my stuff. My staff sergeant ended up doing all my stuff for my transition and my enlistment, even like my jobs and stuff. So I ended up being his pulley, and not actually my sergeant, which is hilarious because whenever my staff sergeant like ever got like questioned, like, hey, like by other like recruiters, like, hey, this is fucking like hard and shit, and he always told me like, Kevin, tell him the story of how like you got enlisted, and tell him how we drove to Alice, how I drove you to Alice, how I made you enlist, how I enlisted you in under like a week. And I'm like, man, he's always putting me in the damn spot. But I'm like, now I was explaining like, hey, I signed up for the Marines in under a week, which is not like for something like super major. I didn't like think through it. After a while, like I did like think about it, and I ended up changing my active contract to a reserve contract because I went to finish my nursing degree. But it was like six days in total of me like doing everything, going to like maps, signing my contract and stuff. And most of the time people like don't have it that simple. Most people like have to go through, either they're not like completely in shape or they fail their tests and stuff. So I have to either retake the test, or they have to get better in shape before they can sign their contract. No, I went up the first time. I signed my contract the first time I went. I had all my paperwork done, and yeah, it was pretty cool. And I would thank always my staff sergeant. Staff sergeant. I'm not gonna say his name, but yeah, my staff sergeant. Like, he's the one that made it like happen in such like a quick, like it's such a quick session. And I'll admit it, like, if it wasn't for him, I probably would have not enlisted. He like kind of convinced me to do it. And yeah, sometimes I hate the Marine Corps, but there's a lot of times where, hey, I get a lot of pride out of it. And that's the story of how I enlisted to the Marine Corps. And believe me, guys, if you guys are ever gonna like enlist for any like armed services, do it. But do think about it, because there's a lot of friends that do hate it, and there's a lot of people that get out before the contract is over. But I have a lot of friends that like have amazing stories to say. And there's people that I have people that I gone like all over the world that have like deployments, active duty. I have like deployments, and they have jobs like military police or Order T or aviation and stuff. Like, they have mules, they got on boats and stuff like that. I don't have none of that, but hey, I made my choice and they made theirs. And if you guys ever want to do it. Just think about it, because it's something very major, and it could change your life completely, like it did to me. And to this day, I'm still thinking about like, did I make the right choice? But hey, there's no turning back. I made my choice, and I'm trying to do the best that I can to finish my contract. I got 3 more years to go, and hopefully I get to finish my 6 years and I can get honorably discharged. I'm only gonna do 6 years and I'm gonna be out. If y'all want to do like a career out of it, like 20 years, and like retire with the Marine Corps, you do you guys. And that's not me. I have other plans in my life. Sorry if like the noise is very like weird. I'm outside in the memorial, so there's a lot of stuff, a lot of wind, and I'm trying to keep like in the middle, so there's more lighting and stuff, but always. So yeah, that's my story, guys. This is Dirt Blog, and I hope you guys enjoy the story. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'll probably post another one today if I get enough time after I go to the gym again. But always keep a big smile, guys, and good luck, and have a nice day.